So normally when I wake up in the morning, I like to enjoy a little bit of, magic lore, magic articles, things like that. And I came across what might be the most cancerous post I've ever read. And it is clearly approved by Card Kingdom, a large Magic the Gathering store and sponsor of guys like Tolarian Community College, a store I can guarantee you I will never purchase from ever again. They've been around since 1999, and, they're in Seattle, so that's kind of all you need to know. Now, normally, I really don't care what a company's individual employees believe politically, but when you publish what can only be described as anti-male propaganda, I don't know what else to do, how else to react. Because, quite frankly, I am disgusted. Jace, a deeper blue, Jace, vulnerability and masculinity. Now, for those of you who don't know who Jace is in the Magic the Gathering world, he's basically the mascot of the game and has been for the last 10 years, 5 years at least. This is a article written on January 23rd, almost slipped under my radar. Card Kingdom. And, I let them know publicly on Twitter that I will not support a company that publishes anti-male propaganda, period. And I hope that other people who might feel the same way might let them know the same thing too. I mean, I think they clearly support this, and that's okay. But as a customer, I feel like I have the right to point it out. Now, Michelle Rapp we'll get into in a second, but clearly understands something about lore. I'm sure of it. So I'm not going to question her ability to, go through the lore. And the lore is, of course, the background story, the everything you might need to know. Since his first appearance, Jace Beleren has become the nearest thing to a mascot for Magic the Gathering, meant to represent the average player in all his geeky and cerebral glory. With his signature hooded blue cloak and mental magic, Jace has shown himself to be a character driven by curiosity and the need for knowledge, both traits that have led him to both great and infinitely stupid decisions. I don't disagree with this at all. However, his most recent exploits on Ixalan have led him to a completely different place, emotionally as well as physically, than where he was just even a few blocks ago. What they mean is a few sets ago, in the last few years. His progression, and I think you'll see that I think she actually meant regression, marks an incredible first step to depicting a male character within the Magic universe whose road to maturity is marked by a healthy perspective on masculinity. It's too often in fantasy tropes that we see our male protagonists follow a non-introspective, get the girl and win the game path. Now, Jace has never really had any love storylines, passive ones between him and Liliana, but his storyline has never been around his love life. So this is just false. This is pushing more propaganda, right? By fully exploring and contextualizing Jace's story, we can understand how positive and dramatic this evolution has been, and how Jace can serve as a fantastic role model for so many Magic players out there. So what we see here is somebody who clearly believes this is somebody to be looked up to. This is her angle is that this is a path of influence for the game. Jace Beleren is a man of influence in the game, and in the community at large. People look up to this person. She talks a little bit about his story, but the important takeaway here is Alhammarret was a tutor to him. He basically manipulated Jace, right? Alhammarret to tutor him and mind magic, allowing Jace to live with him for as long as was needed. Vryn was on a plane, always on the verge of civil war, and Alhammarret's purpose was to negotiate a peaceful resolution on both sides. However, it soon became clear that Jace that his mentor wasn't exactly what he seemed entirely. Though Alhammarret was able to help hone Jace's talents, he trained him. He also used Jace for his abilities, wiping his mind after each occasion. When Jace unravels the truth, he realizes that Alhammarret has wiped his memories of planeswalking. Furious, he challenges the Sphinx to mental combat. Jace deliberately wipes his own memory again in order to hurt Alhammarret, his abuser. Notice the language, his abuser, okay? Now, this is somebody who took advantage of Jace, to which she refers to as his abuser, a male character, right? Now, I just want to go back down. I want to touch on something else we noticed, right? In the story The Flood, this is the latest one, Jace suffers from severe physical trauma after falling off a cliff. Oh, sorry, paragraph before this. It bounces around a little bit. Jace on Ixalan. This is the recent set. So the soy lattes must be very good on Ixalan. Jace meets Vraska, a female character, again under awkward circumstances on Ixalan. Shipwrecked, mind-wiped and malnourished, Jace is completely at Vraska's mercy when she finds him on a tiny island. However, she sees in him a potential to assist her on her quest. Notice the wording. When a woman does it, she sees potential to assist her on her quest. When a man does it, he abuses him. She goes on, or at least keep him close to her so she can neutralize him if needed. She is taking advantage of him the exact same way Alhammarret did. And in this paragraph, the woman is projected as a powerful, chess player, fourth dimensional chess, using the tools at her disposal. When the male character does it, she refers to him as his abuser. This is careful wording. This is on purpose, okay? She talks a little about him growing up. During the time when he was young, he became romantically involved with a necromancer, Liliana Vess, who betrays him when Jace tries to flee from the consortium. I talk a little bit about, he becomes powerful and, in comparison to his charismatic, fit planeswalker Gideon Jara, Jace himself seems as an inferior, less manly, less inspiring leader. His claim to any authority comes from his intellect and knowledge. This is true. This is the beta way, isn't it, though? They fancy themselves incapable to compete on the physical plane, so they rely on intellect, but most of them are phony there, too. His claim to authority comes from intellect and knowledge. To form the backbone of his identity, his superiority, and his masculinity. However, he's keenly aware of the difference between his lack of physical prowess and Gideon's. Which fuels his personal insecurity. Okay, this is one interpretation, right? And I'll leave a link so you can read through this. Don't read it all at once, though. It's a lot of exposure. It's like getting 100 x-rays on your dick at once, or your boobs, I suppose, or your vagina. Let's go to her conclusion, okay? He remembers that she had, in fact, abused him, but he forgives her because he's so woke. Since Vraska has threatened him in the past, she fears that Jace will break off the friendship. This is after he gets his memory back. Once he recalls his particular memory, however, Jace forgives her. Oh, imagine that. And becomes all too aware of the pain he's caused others. This is when he reaches 800% wokeness. It's at this moment Jace decides that the version of who he is now, of who he has been for some time on Ixalan, is the one he wants to be. Oh, imagine. I mean, it's not like some feminist agenda person's writing the story. Jace has grown from a fully grown. Jace has fully grown from a victim into a survivor. Now, what Vraska did, taking advantage of him, made him somehow a powerful woke survivor. But when a man did it, he's a victim. Okay, let's just be clear. We haven't really seen a character like this in Magic lore before, but Jace's struggle towards emotional growth and maturity is remarkable and refreshing. Blech. You hear a lot about those great colonels and great warriors who were emotionally, had a high emotional intellect. He doesn't need to dominate his friends on the belligerent or carve out an untouchable specialized role for himself. Jace is now content to simply learn and grow, adapting as he sees fit. Okay, he's a cuck. He's a beta male. That's what this is, right? Look, not everybody's good at everything, but everybody is good at least one thing, right? What she's saying is the transformation from a power-hungry, powerful young man to this, I'll just live with my parents until I'm 35 and then wait for them to die so I can take over their house mentality is somehow something that needs to be applauded, and that is disgusting. This is the mascot our young men have to look up to in the game, right? And let's be clear, 80% of the over 10 million players are male, and this is who their role model is. A wishy-washy, do-nothing, happy with status quo beta male. This is not to be celebrated. This is pure propaganda, and this should be strongly resisted. And then we save the cherry on top. Jace's position as Magic's mascot doesn't appear to be changing anytime soon, but he no longer represents a simple blue mage. He never did. Who gets on by his cleverness, counterspells, and trickery. He's also a person who intelligently cares about others, who values people, emotions, and connection over his own ego. Gah, gross. This man will inspire nobody. This man went from the most powerful character in the game to forgettable. Just another soy-sipping beta male at Starbucks. Nobody gives a shit about that guy that's still wearing the jeans he bought in 8th grade because he thinks it's cool. That man inspires nobody. He doesn't feel a need to lead others, and he doesn't see his stature as a follower as something that makes him less of a person. Oh my God. The cringe. Yeah, you hear all those people out there always, there's all those great sayings about it's better to be a follower than a leader, right? There's written in the history books of all time. People literally don't care. There aren't entire religions based on leaders. Right? Jace has become the antithesis of toxic masculinity, and we all love him the more for it. No, we don't. Feminists who come into this game to push their agenda are the only people that see this as a victory, and make no fucking mistake about it. That's exactly what this is. People like this move into culture and they want to destroy it. They did it to comics and they've been doing it to Magic for years. The art has never been more puritanical than it is right now in 25 years. And we have never seen a larger collection of pussy, forgettable characters than we do right now. That is on purpose. Do you think that people are fleeing the game of Magic because maybe the FNMs just aren't firing because of this shit? Is it a bunch of toxic males you've scared away? This article is infuriating. Then you only need to look into who Michelle Rapp even is, and you will know. You will know. Do you think Michelle Rapp is, like a pro player or, a very popular personality in the community? Imagine my shock nerd, queer, feminist, T-snob. And don't forget, gotta have your pronouns. Okay? How can people accept this clear propaganda piece on one of the largest stores in our space? They have some of the most reach in the entire game, at least in the United States. And they publish this absolute garbage. It's no surprise that there aren't any comment sections on here, because I know it would be getting roasted. Stop talking shit about men. Take your feminism. Here's the thing. Somebody like this goes to school for feminism or gender studies or something bullshit, and they get out of school and they have no job for that, because the only possible solution for somebody that gets a meaningless degree or literally sees themselves this is what's most important to her, that she's a nerd first, then queer, then a feminist. So what? You're a lesbian? I don't understand. But why do you think that you have to lead with the fact that you're a nerd? It's because you're trying to signal to people that you're one of us. You didn't learn anything in school. You have no way to push your agenda. So you move in to spaces and you take them over and you destroy them. Get out of our hobby.